Today I fucked up by reviewing a lawn service. This is a short one, and an albeit small fuck up, but I cringed so hard after realizing what I did I wanted to share it with you all. I have a small house in the middle of the block. Neighbors to my left have kids and are working from home, so they don't do much yard work. Neighbors to the right moved out and landlord hasn't taken care of the backyard in months. I'm suffering from post-COVID fatigue and can barely bring myself to mow my lawn, let alone try to handle the dozens of scrub trees and weeds. Some are taller than my garage, encroaching upon my yard from all sides. The back fence had become tangled in a thick foot of vines and I also have a Chinese wisteria that had grown out of control. It was starting to grow onto all the fence line trees and the neighbor's garage. I needed help. I found a great service on Google for my area. Wonderful prices. The crew came out and got to work. They tore through my backyard like a tree trimming tornado. They cut back the wisteria, but today I fucked up. I was very impressed. I paid the crew, gave them a huge tip, and I wanted to let the boss know the great work they had done. So I wrote up a little Google review. Services are highly recommended. Thorough, fast and clean. Reasonable prices. Shout out to Steve on an amazing rim job. I didn't notice until the owner texted me and thanked me for the review before asking me to please edit it. I was like, sure, why? He just said lol, you'll see. I reread it and face-palmed. Too long didn't read. I thanked a tree trimming service in a Google review with a special shout out to an employee for the wonderful and professional rim job he gave me. No, I will not edit it. The people need to know that you are highly skilled at eating butt. Good day to you. Man, Steve is never going to hear the end of that one. Hope he doesn't mind going by Rim Job Steve, cause that's his new name. I was so into my own embarrassment I never even considered that. Dear God. Poor Steve. They are going to get a bunch of calls specifically asking them to send Steve. Reply back, did I stutter? I was expecting a they trimmed my bush as well joke and the ending was 1000x better. Today I fucked up by passing out twice during what was supposed to be a dick appointment. Yeah, where do I even begin? I guess I'll start with a little bit of a backstory. Me F21 and this guy M22 met technically from Tinder. He super liked me BTW, and we haven't officially met and just talked a lot via Snapchat and seemed like a decent dude. Well, 2 weekends ago we finally met Earl when I saw him outside of one of the clubs in our city. We were both drunk and we decided to go home together and even played Super Smash before actually smashing, if you know what I mean, and it was actually pretty good. Flash forward to last night, we decided to hang out again, but we decided to do strip Super Smash and drink during it. We also were heavily hinting actually hooking up during this hangout. Oh, of course I wear some hot lingerie under my sweats for it to make our strip Super Smash a bit more exciting. I decided to take my antidepressants early that day because I was scared I was gonna forget to take them that night. P.S. I take my antidepressants late at night before bed, so it's unusual for me to take them around 4:30 p.m. Now, I know you're not supposed to even drink alcohol when you're taking antidepressants, let alone taking it with alcohol. So that was my first mistake. Second mistake is that I'm a lightweight and had 2 drinks too many. Plus the interaction between heavy alcohol use and antidepressants is a big no-no. So anyways, he comes over with his drinks and we start playing and it was very flirty, roasty, and going really well in general. I was feeling fine through all of this. Finally we were down to just my lingerie and we got to the nitty-gritty and I start leading him to the bedroom. As I reached the door, I started to see in spots and I felt everything become blurry. All I said was, it's a little blurry, I think I'm having vertigo. All I remember next is a male voice asking me if I was okay and nudging me repeatedly, and I was on my bed. At first I was scared and confused and wondered what happened. And as soon as I realized, I shot up and asked him what happened. He says, well, you were just saying how you felt you had vertigo and then all of a sudden you passed out, but I caught you, thank God, because I was behind you. You were passed out for a minute or two. I didn't know what to do and started freaking out because the situation did not look good. My dick's out and there's a half-naked girl passed out and I don't know WTF just happened. He then asks me if I needed anything and got me water and just laid beside me in bed and we just talked. It totally 1000% killed whatever sexual chemistry we just had. He then told me how his life flashed before him when it happened, thinking of how he didn't want to go to prison because of how bad the whole situation looked. He ended up laughing about the whole situation and he stayed with me long enough to just make sure I was okay. He decided to go home early because the whole situation stressed him out and he just needed a fat joint and to hug his cat, which honestly, fair enough. So we walk back to the living room and he's packing his stuff and he again asks me if I'll be okay and I said I was. He got me some more water and blew the candles out in my room to make sure I was okay and that I don't accidentally forget and burn my house down. Now you'd think, okay, it can't get any worse than this. He leaves and I just go back to bed. Well, the universe said actually, yeah, I'm not done fucking with you yet. So here's how it gets worse. My third mistake is smoking some weed with him before he left because I thought it would help relax myself after tonight's events. So I took a hit and it did mellow me out. But maybe just a little too much smile, so we talk for a little bit more and then he made his way to the door. I followed him to the door to lock it. I start seeing spots again and said it's getting a little blurry. I woke up to him laughing and asking me if I was okay and I realized I was on the cold ground. I asked him if I passed out again, and he says, yeah you did. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I thought you were just joking with me and pretending you passed out again, but the fall was a bit too hard to be a joke and then I realized it wasn't a joke. He helped me to the nearest couch, and he stayed with me for a little bit again to make sure I was okay and getting me whatever I need. Anyways, after convincing him I won't leave this couch for the rest of the night and that I have my phone and promised to message him and friends that I was okay, he then left. Most embarrassing night of my life and also disappointed in myself for ruining what could have been a good night by me being a dumbass. I thought I'd get ghosted and he'll never wanna see me again, but we laughed about the situation and surprisingly is down to hang out again. This time, I probably will keep to my antidepressant schedule and also chill on the alcohol, or just be sober tbh. Too long didn't read. I decided to take my antidepressants with alcohol before my dick appointment and I ended up passing out twice and it became a babysitting appointment. Edit. For everyone that was concerned, I have an addiction. I am on a low dose for the SSRI that I am taking and I actually do not smoke pot on a regular basis. I understand that I had a bit too much to drink, which is not recommended when taking it, but it also doesn't mean I drink heavily all the time. This was just an unfortunate underestimation on my part. I did take some weed, without thinking about what other substances I took because, well, I couldn't really think straight at the time, and did it only to relax me to go to bed and just rest. Thanks everyone for your concern, but just something I wanted to clear up. I'll definitely talk to my doctor about my experience and definitely take my mental health and medication seriously. I just clicked to learn what a dick appointment was. I really thought that it was a doctor appointment or something like that. When I read the headline, I thought it was about a guy who passed out during his urologist appointment. Hugging my cat is my new excuse to go home. It's a good sign that he wants to hang out again. This could be a hilarious start to a good relationship. Add OK2 up. Ha ha ha, yeah. If he didn't want to hang out again though, I also don't blame him, but I also thought to myself that if the roles were reversed and me and a dude hit it off and he happened to just get an allergic reaction or passed out, it wouldn't turn me away from hanging out with them again. And also thank you. Yes, I am okay now and had loads of water and rest. Exclamation mark. He seems like a good guy. You could actually have something here. As a guy who has been in a very similar situation, went on date with a girl, she was taking antidepressants and got completely smashed on maybe 1.5 beers. I drove her to her place, made sure she got inside safe, then went home. It's depressing how low the bar is to be a good guy sometimes. All you have to do is go around not raping, robbing, or murdering incapacitated people. Today I fucked up by peeing the bed and on my boyfriend. This happened last night and I am still extremely embarrassed. My boyfriend and I went bar hopping with a few of our friends for one of their birthdays. I had ate before we went out, so I wrongly assumed the alcohol wouldn't hit me as hard as it would. We pre-gamed a little, had a couple shots and a seltzer. I was feeling pretty good at this point, oblivious to the hell that my life would be later on. I only had a few drinks at the first bar, and then we drove. My boyfriend was DD, he was not drinking, to the next bar to meet up with some people from work. This is where it went downhill. My friends kept feeding me shots, and I kept taking them. You know the feeling when you go into the bathroom intoxicated and look at yourself in the mirror, thinking damn, I'm drunk. Yeah, that was me. I was sitting down, watching my boyfriend play pool and I feel myself falling asleep. And that's it. I don't remember anything else. I wake up, wet, my bra and panties are soaked. Odd, probably sweat. Hopefully, sweat. I look over and my boyfriend isn't in bed. I roll over. He's sleeping on the floor. Even more odd. I get up to pee. At this point, I don't know how there was still any pee left, and my boyfriend wakes up. He tells me that he had woken up and his leg was wet. Thought he had peed himself until he felt me. Went oh fuck no. Not dealing with this and slept on the floor. He let me fester in my own urination for hours. Put the sheets in the wash, and started cleaning the bed. Our roommate is now calling me tinkle trousers and I cannot fall asleep for work because I'm terrified I'm going to piss myself again. Too long didn't read, went drinking with friends, got blackout drunk and peed on the bed and my boyfriend in my sleep. Our roommate now calls me tinkle trousers. Edit, my boyfriend did try to wake me up, but I was too blacked out at that point to even wake up. Please stop trying to blame my boyfriend for not taking care of me. I was drunk. Edit, wow, my first awards and 2 silvers. I'm glad the internet appreciates my FU as much as it makes me cringe. Shared a blow-up mattress with a friend of mine after a hard night drinking. I woke up at about 2 in the morning to see him fountaining piss directly up into the air through the sheet and his boxers all over himself. I felt myself, noticed I was 100% dry and went and lay on the couch. He woke up in quite the puddle later. I got drunk and pissed myself at a picnic table surrounded by like 40 people when I was in the army. Pissed myself in my bed when I was in high school after drinking Crown. And I pissed myself at a friend birthday party after passing out face down in the yard. I've also shit myself. It's okay op, shit happens sometimes. I had a boyfriend pee the bed, and all over my leg, one of the first times I ever stayed over. Neither of us had been drinking, it was just a freak thing. He was so horribly embarrassed but woke me up and told me what happened thinking I would leave and never come back. That was 8 years ago and he's my husband now, still my number one. Glad it worked out for you too. Unfortunately, we're in the military and I just got orders overseas and he can't come with. Having this happen right before I leave didn't help much with the situation. As embarrassing as it is to pee yourself, getting blackout drunk can end in way worse ways. Absolutely. Thankful to have a boyfriend who takes care of me and didn't let anything else happen. You know, just laugh it off. It happens. I'm a 56-year-old guy and over the many years of coming of barely conscious, it's happened. Here's a story for you. In 2014 I got a kidney transplant. Post-op, they had me on large amounts of 4 fluids and drinking 2 to 3 liters of water a day. I had catheter in my bladder and the staff was coming in about every 6 hours emptying at least 1,500 milliliters of urine hour. After a while, I'm starting to get nervous. What's going to happen when they remove that catheter? Well, they remove it and at night I wake up about 300 AM with everything soaking wet. I was too embarrassed to call the nurses. I changed the sheets, cleaned the bed, changed my gown after taking a shower, with the 4th in my arm and all. As I said, laugh it off, don't worry about it and move on. You'll have a story to tell later on down the road.